Welcome back everyone to Catherine's Plates. Today on the menu I have a 1 skillet cabbage roll casserole. If you love cabbage rolls or you want something to do with some cabbage, y'all, you need to make this dish. Let's go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn our heat on to medium high. Now remember, we're going to use 1 large skillet. I'm just using a Dutch oven. I'm going to place about 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil into the bottom of my pot. Get that heating up. Okay, I've got 1 onion here, and I'm just going to dice this into big pieces. I love 1 skillet meals. You can just get started with everything, put it all in there, and then it just cooks, and then 30 minutes later, you're eating a meal. That going right here. Okay, your oil is nice and hot. We're going to go ahead now and place them into our pot, our skillet. We're going to cook these down for about 3 to 4 minutes. You're going to see as we start pulling this together that the flavors are going to really remind you almost of cabbage rolls. Now, I grew up with cabbage rolls and ate them a lot because my mom made them and then passed the recipe on to me, and I make them for my family. And they take a little bit to cook them, so when you can make them all in one pot, like I'm going to be doing today, it's going to be delicious. Alright, as soon as these are nice and softened, I'm going to bring you back. Okay, these are looking really good. Now that they're nice and soft, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to add about 1.5 to 2 pounds of ground beef. Now, as you can see, this is a Ziploc bag of it. I usually get like a huge size, like 7 to 8 pounds at Costco, separate it all out into Ziploc bags here by 1 to 1.5 pounds, and then I roll them flat, like you can see here, and put those in my freezer and then pull them out as I know I'm going to be needing them for recipes coming up. So, alright, we're going to go ahead and add that. Alright, you know what I'm going to get? My meat chopper here. Now I'm just going to go in here and just start breaking up the meat. Now if you've been with me for a while, you know that this is my favorite tool in the kitchen. And if you like any tools that I use or items that I use in the kitchen, you can check down below in my description box for them. And they're generally Amazon links, and you can check out the items there. Okay, so you can start cutting up your cabbage while your meat is doing its thing in here. Just keep checking it, keeping an eye on it while you are starting to cut up your cabbage. Now, I just sliced off one end right here, and then I cut that into bite-sized pieces. We want them manageable. So I had taken this head and taken off some of the dark leaves they were pretty dirty, and just kind of rinsed off my cabbage. So I'm just going to cut it into chunks here, and then chop it into your bite-sized pieces. Today is like, whoo, it's storming out right now. My allergies are all over the place, and I wanted a nice kind of a very delicious casserole dish, 1 skillet, easy meal. That's what I wanted to make for my family, so I didn't have to spend too much time in the kitchen. And I had a cabbage, and I just love the flavors of cabbage rolls, so I wanted to make this all in one pot. So you want about 3 cups of chopped cabbage. Anything I don't use off of this cabbage, I'm going to save. You can chop it up and save it. Make a nice coleslaw with it. I like to cook it down with chicken broth, butter, salt, and pepper. That makes a good side dish. One of my favorite side dishes. Let's go here, check our meat, keep working it. Y'all let me know different types of cabbage dishes you like. Okay, this is what I'm going to be using right here. So this is all ready. Okay, so our meat is all nice and browned up. What we're going to do is add everything else at this point, starting with the cabbage. Okay, now I'm using 1 can of tomato soup, or you can use tomato sauce, and it's about 10 ounces. Now we use the soup because the tomato sauce is too acidic for my husband. So we have found that tomato soup is not, so he can have this. All right, I'm going to fill this up with water, 1 can. One cup of uncooked white rice. Now I'm using a basmati rice, and it looks like this right here. That's what I'm using. All right, you can add like 1 can of diced tomatoes, but I'm going to be putting in these tomatoes here. These are Rotel, and they are diced tomatoes with green chilies. So those are going to go in. That's going to give it some nice flavor. Okay, I'm back to the tomato soup can here. I'm just going to fill this up with some chicken broth. Just 1 can, and that's going to go in. Put in about 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Some pepper. This is to taste. We're just seasoning everything up right now, really good. And then I'm going to add some salt. Go ahead and put this on high. We can get it going here. We want to bring it to a boil. We'll go ahead now and mix everything well. Now, okay, so I did forget to tell you that once I browned my ground beef, I took a look at it to see if it needed to be drained, and it did not, so I didn't drain it. But if you need to drain it, you can drain it at that stage. Now, what I like to do is just scoop everything off to the side, the ground beef, and then take some paper towels and absorb the grease on the bottom, and then you're done. That way you're not having to use extra dishes, because we're doing this all in 1 skillet for a reason. Easy cooking, easy cleanup. Okay, get what I'm going here? Okay, doesn't that look good? Okay, I want to see the liquid there because I want it to come to a boil. Okay guys, so I was talking to you about cabbage rolls and how I had them when I was young, and then I have the recipe now. I do have a video out there showing you how I make my cabbage rolls, so if you want to check that out, you can certainly do that. And I do a cabbage roll soup, so I think I have a video out there. If I don't, oh, I need to do one for you guys, right? Okay. And if I do have one, I'll link it down below also so you can check it out. Okay, so just a few more minutes and I'm going to let you know what we're going to do. Okay, so we have a boil on it. Now, you know, it's like cooking rice, okay? You bring your liquid to a boil. Once you have your rice in it, you place a lid on it, and we're going to cook it for 20 minutes on a medium low. We're going to let it sit for 20 minutes. We're going to give it a check. Now it might take you a little longer, okay? So if it does, just put your lid back on it and cook it an additional few minutes. We're going to come back and I'm going to show you what our finishing touches are going to be for our 1 skillet cabbage casserole. Okay guys, once you put that lid on for 20 minutes, please do not take it off. It's just like cooking rice. Once you pull that lid off, you're going to up your cooking time. Okay, so try to leave it on for 20 minutes and then check it. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and take the lid off. Oh, it looks delicious. Guys, it smells delicious, okay? All through the house. Okay, let's go in and take a look here. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is try it. We want to make sure that the rice is nice and tender and the cabbage is tender also. We don't want any crunchy rice or, you know, crunchy cabbage. So what I'm going to do is just take a bite right here and go in. Make sure you blow on it. Okay, that is so delicious. What we're going to do now, I'm going to try to flatten this out just a little bit. Now, a casserole is not a casserole without some cheese. So I have about 1 cup of cheddar cheese here. I'm going to sprinkle it in all over it. Guys, at this point, if your rice and your cabbage are done, go ahead and turn off your burner. I'm just going to put my lid back on for about 2 minutes to melt that cheese. Okay, everyone, what do you think of my 1 skillet cabbage casserole? Oh my goodness, it's not a casserole unless you're putting cheese on it, right? I'm going to take a bite for you guys. Oh my gosh, it screams comfort food. And with weather like what we're having today, it's perfect for it. Tender cabbage, tender rice, all cooked in those delicious flavors that I put in there. Topped off with some of your favorite cheese. I used sharp cheddar cheese here. Okay, let me know what you think. Make sure that you give me a thumbs up, comment down below. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification so you'll always know when my shows are posted. Okay, I will see you on my next episode.